Hey guys, it's Nick. I'm here in Kadikoy, the Asian side of Istanbul, standing in front of this place with a Rembrandt on the wall. That's kind of the quirkiness of this neighborhood, and I want to talk about Kadikoy and why I wish I would have booked my stay here instead of by Taksim Square. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the residential part of Kadikoy here, as well as the more touristy part, or it's not really touristy, it's just the more restaurants and bars, the main center of it, to give you an idea of what this neighborhood is like. I'm also going to talk about how easy it is to get over here by taking the ferry, which you can use the Istanbul Metro card, and it's like less than $1, say from Kadikoy, right by the bridge going over into the area by the Egyptian Bazaar and Hagia Sophia and all of that. Got sleeping dogs live. So just walking around this area, you can see it is very residential. It's not touristy. It has that old school vibe, like it's still, some of it is like still in the 70s or something like that. And I guess that's why it's probably a pretty good place for tourists to stay. I see a lot of people that seem to be, I guess, renting out here, like tourists, Americans and that kind of thing. So I guess a lot of people have figured this out before I have. But like I said, I wish I would have stayed here instead of, I'm staying right off Istiklal Street by Taksim Square. And the way I like to say, it's like staying in Times Square if you're visiting New York City. You really don't want to stay in Times Square. You want to stay in one of the outside boroughs like Queens or Brooklyn, maybe even the Bronx or Staten Island, and then you can go into Manhattan if you choose to, but you don't really have to. And like most New Yorkers will tell you, they never go to Times Square unless they have somebody visiting, and then they have to take them there to show them around or something like that. But other than that, they never go there. So that's probably the same thing with Istiklal Street and Taksim Square. The people that live here probably don't go over there very often. So just looking for a supermarket around where I'm staying is very difficult. Not that I saw any big ones over here, but this is definitely more of a regular neighborhood kind of vibe. And I'm sure it is cheaper than staying around Taksim Square. So I chose that area just because it was busy and all of that, and it seemed like Kadikoy was kind of far, but I tell you, it was only like a 15-20 minute ferry ride, and there's also a metro that comes over here as well. So it is totally accessible to the more touristy stuff. So if you're staying out here and you want to do Hagia Sophia or Grand Bazaar or any of that stuff, that's kind of, you're going to be there all day anyway. So you just go there, do your thing, stay there for the afternoon, and then come back to this regular neighborhood and have all the regular amenities at regular prices. And I guess you get to mingle with regular locals here as opposed to, you know, the touristy areas, which is people from all over the world. So this area is, it's north of the pier where the boat, where the ferry comes in from, and it's north of the kind of the area with the restaurants and bars and stuff like that. Look at this bakery. Looks like some really good stuff in there. Yeah, so it's easy to get here, and I made the mistake of walking all the way from by Taksim all the way to Hagia Sophia, and it is a lot of work. So I know it sucks to try to figure out a metro system and a card and all of that in a foreign country, but it really wasn't hard at all. Of course, the machines have multiple languages you can use. I bought the card, which cost 130 Turkish lira, which is less than $4, I think. And then you just put money on it, and you can insert cash as well. And the card is good for trams, metros, buses, even a funicular that goes down the hill from Taksim to connect with the T1 tram, as well as the ferry. And so, like I said, the ferry was like 28 Turkish lira, which is less than $1 for a 20-minute ferry ride. So you don't even need to do a boat tour or anything like that, because that is a boat tour, just taking the ferry over here. So you see this area has everything you need, really, and more, I'm sure. And you don't have the higher price, the huge crowds, all that stuff around Istiklal. I mean, it's good to see, but you probably don't want to stay there every day, especially if you think you're coming to Istanbul for longer than a few days. Like if I were to live out here for a few months, I would definitely look to stay in this area, most likely. I don't know what's going on over here. Accident or something. I still really haven't seen a big supermarket over here, but I didn't walk all these streets yet, but I think I'm sure there is one. I think this is one right here, actually. A101. So yeah, this is definitely laid back, and I like being in kind of the tier 2 places, not the tier 1 kind of place. So this fits my kind of my vibe for sure. There are a lot of silver jewelry shops out here, and so silver jewelry is popular with Turks, I guess, but they invest in gold, not so much silver. And when you have a country with historically very high inflation like Turkey, a lot of people put any extra money into gold because it holds its value, to the point where some of these shops actually have their prices per gram of gold out on an electronic board and in different currencies, kind of like they do at the exchange shops. When you exchange, say, US dollars for Turkish lira, it's like the same thing except for gold. So I guess people save in multiple currencies and they come and buy gold as well. Hello. So here is an example right here. I don't read Turkish, but I believe that says for 24 karat gold, 1 gram is 2.75. That can't be right. Not Turkish lira. Maybe it's 27.50. $100 a gram. That could be right. And what's interesting is there's a bull here. Usually you see those by stock exchanges, like the one in New York City by Wall Street and the one in Frankfurt by the Frankfurt Bourse. So I guess I got to take a video of this. It's a pretty big bull. I guess it's lucky if you rub its horns. So it looks like there's a tram going up this hill. Maybe that's a popular area. I might as well go walk it, see what's over here. So yeah, Turkey is, or at least Istanbul, is very big and very hilly. And so I made the mistake of walking all these places yesterday and walking back, and if I would have just done some research and looked at the map and you know, figured out the card and the route I need to take, I would have saved a lot of hassle and walking and all of that. So I did that today. Better late than never. Pizza looks good. 70 Turkish lira per slice. That's just about $2 a slice. I might try that. This is an interesting street. I didn't come down here before. So the analogy I get of Kadikoy is a little bit like the difference between Athens and Piraeus. Piraeus has the port. It's a smaller city, but it still has everything you need, and it's not as congested as Athens. So I guess this is more of the city center. Where I started out was more north of the city center and more residential. This place is surprisingly pretty crowded as well. But you know, I'm happy to not be around Hagia Sophia and Grand Bazaar and the Egyptian Bazaar. I felt like I was in a maze looking for the exit to get out of that place, and everywhere you turn there's another bunch of streets with all that bizarre kind of shops. So if you like that stuff and you want to be lost for a few hours, go for it, but it's a place I want to kind of avoid. Oh, there's one of these in Athens, the pink shop. And a lot of these areas look very similar to Greece and Athens and all of that. And of course, if you don't know, Turkey ruled over Greece for, what is it, 200-300 years or something like that. So there is a lot of similarity on how the buildings look, how the streets look, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, if you took this street and just changed these signs to Greek signs and dropped somebody here, you would say, yeah, I'm in Athens or somewhere in Greece or something like that. That's how similar it is. I thought that was a mannequin up there on the phone. And one other thing, I was hoping I would find some city bikes to rent like they have in most cities, but I haven't seen any out here, just these electric scooters. And I believe the reason they don't is just because of all these hills. Maybe nobody wants to ride a bike up and down them, so it's probably not that popular. Matter of fact, I barely see anybody riding a bike out here. And everywhere I go, I see these deals with a durum and this drink. I don't know if that is just water or what, but I see everybody offering that and they shake it up before they drink it, so I don't think it is water. If anybody knows, let me know what that is. So this is 150 Turkish lira, and this is a drink that's like liquid cottage cheese. That's how I would describe it. It's kind of salty, kind of like liquid yogurt, cottage cheesy kind of flavor. Strange, but apparently it's very popular to go with these kinds of things. So I really wish I saw a video kind of like this, walking the whole area. There probably are some on YouTube that I didn't see, but I think I would have booked my hotel or Airbnb out here instead of where I am. You know, seeing towns like this gives you a better idea of what regular Turkey towns and cities are like. It kind of makes me want to just take one of the metros to the last stop and get off and walk around and see what the area is like. Here's a kind of small supermarket vegetable place. I gotta say, the tomatoes out here are really great, just like in Greece. My hotel has a breakfast in the morning and they have tomatoes out, and you would think that, you know, this little hotel with their free breakfast, they wouldn't have that good tomatoes, but they were really awesome. So it seems everywhere I go, you get really good juicy red tomatoes out here. This place is a lot bigger than I thought, really. Of course, there's cats everywhere. Man, these vegetables look really good. And these fresh figs. If you've never eaten one, try it out. They're not like the Fig Newtons you get in the store, the cookies. Complete different experience. Guys, I don't know how I missed this part of Kadikoy, closer to the port, but this whole area down here is a mix of a bunch of restaurants, bars, fresh fish, olives, spices, all kinds of stuff. So this is a pretty big area. Definitely come down and check this place out. I'm gonna walk around a little bit, but I've already walked through a lot of this, and now I'm like, I should definitely add this to my video, because this is an area you're gonna want to come to. So this is an added benefit of staying in Kadikoy. You got all of this stuff over here as well. Let's see if I walk past some of the fresh fish and meats and all of that. This is a Irish looking bar, I guess. So I guess they kind of specialize in fish because they're right on the water, but look at all these vegetables and stuff. And this looks like a Greek restaurant with the blue and white tablecloth. But man, this place is big. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7, 8 blocks wide or something like that. So spices, soaps. Looks a little like Monastiraki in Athens. Hanging dried out spices, the olives. Meats. All this fresh fish.
Geldi, taze palamut geldi abi. Mezgit var, palamut var, mezgit var. Buyur abi.
Peki niye o ben o çocuğu sapsam o orası çocuğu olmuş yani?
Abi aranızdaki muhabbette beni karıştırmayın.
Clothes, shoes. So Kadikoy has all different parts. You have the north kind of quiet residential, but down by the port it is really bustling. More up this way. Everybody has these stands with mussels and lemon. I see them all over the place. If you need some goth clothes, they got you covered here. Interesting coffee shop here. More mussels. Man, Turkish people really like mussels. They just eat them like just walking down the street on Istiklal. There's a whole bunch of sellers last night. Just that's the only thing they're selling, street vendors, and people are just standing there and eating the mussels right there. I don't know how many they eat or how much it costs, but it's pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. Happy hour, 95 liras, 2 board.
Wow.
This is supermarket. Not that big, but really red tomatoes. So guys, that's a kind of long walk through Kadikoy, and if you are thinking of coming to Istanbul and you're wondering what neighborhood to stay in, you know, I think this video should give you a lot of information if this is the kind of area you want to stay in versus the very touristy Taksim Square, Istiklal, and all of that. And like I said, it's very easy to get to through the ferry and even the metro, and there's, I believe, a 24-hour bus going through this area or something along those lines, so it is accessible. It's probably cheaper than some of those areas, and it has a nice kind of living with the locals kind of vibe, which I always like anywhere I go. So I messed up this time, but if I come back again, I will definitely be staying here in Kadikoy. I hope you like this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.